Emotion conveyed through silence, light, and texture. You feel it, don't you? That quiet tremor in the pit of your stomach. The whisper in the dark that says you're not ready, not strong enough, not good enough. It speaks to you in the boardroom before a presentation, in the silence of your room at 3 a.m., in the face of a challenge that seems to tower over you. This is the real battle. The battle that was never about swords and shields. This is the battle for your mind. 2,000 years ago, the Spartans forged a legend, not just of physical might, but of an unbreakable will, a spirit that could stare into the face of certain death and not flinch. But their secret weapon wasn't the spear or the shield. It was a philosophy, a mindset that the Stoics would later articulate with brilliant clarity. It was a relentless discipline of the mind that created a confidence so deep, so rooted, it was utterly unshakable. This is not a history lesson. This is a training manual. Today, you will be inducted into a new Agoge, the Agoge of the soul. You will learn the 10 Spartan rules fused with timeless Stoic wisdom to forge that same ironclad confidence within yourself, to move from being a slave to your doubts to being a master of your destiny. This is how you build a fortress in your mind. Let's begin. The 10 Spartan confidence rules. We begin. These are not quick tips or life hacks. They are principles. They are drills for the psyche. They must be practiced, embodied, and lived until they become as natural as breath. Rule number 1 is the bedrock, the foundation upon which everything else is built.
Rule 1. Your mind is your stronghold. Guard the gates. A Spartan knew that the walls of Sparta were strong, but stronger still was the will of its defenders. Your mind is your personal Sparta. Every single day, an army of distractions, negative opinions, and fearful thoughts assaults your gates. Unshakable confidence is impossible if you let the enemy walk right in. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius put it plainly in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your first duty is to become the gatekeeper. This means a ruthless audit of the information you consume, the news you watch, the people you listen to, the social media you scroll. Does it build your fortitude or weaken it? Does it inspire action or breed anxiety? You must guard your attention with the same ferocity a Spartan guard held the pass at Thermopylae. Confidence begins here in the quiet decision of what you allow to influence you. Rule 2. Find your phrase, the discipline of perspective. Every Spartan warrior was part of a phalanx. His strength was multiplied by the shield of the man next to him. His individual survival depended on the unity and perspective of the whole. For you, your phalanx is your perspective on the world. Stoicism teaches us the art of objective judgment. Is the thing you fear truly a catastrophe, or is it an inconvenience? Is that criticism a mortal wound, or simply the opinion of another fallible human being? Unshakable confidence comes from the ability to see events for what they are, not what your panicked emotions scream they are. Epictetus, the slave who became a great Stoic teacher, said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." When you feel doubt creeping in, you must step back, analyze the situation with cold, hard logic. Ask yourself, what is within my control here? You only control your efforts, your judgments, and your actions. You do not control the outcome or other people's reactions. Focus your energy exclusively on your lane of control. This is how you remain steady when everything seems to be falling apart. Rule 3. Embrace the Agoge of adversity. The Spartan Agoge was a brutal years-long training regimen designed to forge boys into warriors through hunger, pain, and hardship. They didn't avoid discomfort, they embraced it as their greatest teacher. Your modern Agoge is the daily adversity you face. The Stoics called this the discipline of desire, to not desire a life of ease, but to desire the strength to handle a difficult life. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The presentation you're dreading, the difficult conversation you're avoiding, the fear of it is almost always worse than the thing itself. Unshakable confidence is earned in the fire. Therefore, you must reframe your relationship with challenges. Stop seeing them as threats and start seeing them as training sessions. That difficult client, that's a drill for your patience and communication. That failed project, that's a lesson in resilience. Seek out minor discomforts, a cold shower, waking up an hour earlier, taking the harder path. By voluntarily embracing the grind, you build the muscle memory of overcoming. You prove to yourself again and again that you can handle it. Rule 4. Speak with the weight of a Spartan. Spartans were men of few words, but when they spoke, their words had weight. They understood that speech is action. Gossip, complaining, and idle boasts are leaks in your personal power. They drain your credibility, both with others and, more importantly, with yourself. Unshakable confidence requires impeccable speech. This means eliminating the language of victimhood from your vocabulary. I have to becomes I choose to. I can't becomes I won't, or I haven't learned how yet. It means speaking clearly, directly, and truthfully. It means making promises sparingly and keeping them ruthlessly. When your words align with your actions, you build self-trust. And what is confidence if not the absolute trust in your ability to act as you say you will? Be silent or be significant. Let your words be like a Spartan spear, rarely used but devastatingly effective when deployed. Rule 5. Cultivate the Stoic reserve clause. This is one of the most powerful Stoic concepts, and it was lived by every Spartan who ever marched to war. They prepared meticulously, they trained relentlessly, they fought with every ounce of their being, but they also knew that the battle could still be lost. A storm could wipe out their fleet, an ally could betray them, the enemy could be more numerous than expected. The Stoic reserve clause is this: do everything within your control to succeed, while simultaneously accepting that the final outcome is not entirely within your control. You can give the performance of a lifetime in that job interview, but you cannot control if another candidate had an uncle in the company. This is not a license for apathy. It is the key to fearless action. When you internalize this, you are freed from the paralysis of outcome dependence. Your confidence comes from the quality of your effort, not the randomness of the result. You can walk into any situation, give it your all, and walk away with your head held high, regardless of the outcome, because you upheld your end of the bargain with excellence. Your self-worth is tied to your attempt, not the trophy.
Rule 6. Hold your ground, the virtue of boundaries. Imagine a Spartan phalanx. Now imagine one soldier breaking rank, creating a gap that dooms the entire formation. That is what happens when you have no boundaries. Saying yes when you mean no, tolerating disrespect, allowing others to drain your time and energy. Confidence is not just about how you advance, it's about how you hold your ground. It is the quiet, non-negotiable line you draw around your time, your energy, and your self-respect. The Stoics believed that justice, giving each person their due, begins with giving yourself your due. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is strategic. It is the essential maintenance required for a high-performing mind. You must learn to say no clearly and without apology. You must be willing to defend your focus. Every time you hold a boundary, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I am valuable. My mission is important. This repeated action builds a deep structural confidence that no amount of external praise can match. Rule 7. Premeditatio malorum, the ultimate mental drill. The Spartans at Thermopylae knew death was likely. They prepared for it. They made their peace with it. This mental rehearsal of potential failure is what the Stoics called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is not negative thinking, it is strategic thinking. It is the practice of vividly imagining what could go wrong, not so you can live in fear of it, but so you can rob it of its power. Before a big meeting, spend 5 minutes considering, what if the technology fails? What if they hate my idea? What if I get rejected? By visualizing the worst-case scenario and accepting it, you accomplish 2 things. First, you realize that you can survive it. You will not die from a rejected proposal. Second, and more importantly, you can then plan your response. If the technology fails, you have a printed copy. If they hate the idea, you have clarifying questions prepared. This practice transforms anxiety into preparedness. You walk into any situation with a plan for every contingency. That is the posture of unshakable confidence. Rule 8. Your body is your armor. A Spartan's confidence was built on a foundation of supreme physical conditioning. He knew his body could endure marches, withstand blows, and fight for days. For you, in the modern world, your physical vessel is the primary interface through which you experience life. You cannot have an unshakable mind in a neglected body. This is not about vanity. It is about function. It is about building a body that serves your will, not one that holds it back. The Stoics believed the body was a tool to be used and maintained for virtuous action. Regular exercise, disciplined nutrition, and quality sleep are not lifestyle choices. They are non-negotiable duties for anyone seeking mental fortitude. When you are strong, well-rested, and energized, your physiology supports your psychology. Your posture is better, your voice is stronger, and you literally feel more capable. The simple act of pushing your body physically teaches you that you are stronger than your discomfort. It is a daily, tangible victory that builds undeniable self-belief. Rule 9. Memento mori, your most powerful weapon. The Spartans were intimately acquainted with death. They were taught from youth that their lives were short and belonged to the state. This wasn't morbid, it was liberating. The Stoics practiced memento mori, the remembrance of death, for the exact same reason. Remembering that your time is limited, that this day, this moment could be your last, is the ultimate catalyst for action. It vaporizes trivial concerns and forces clarity. That fear of embarrassment, meaningless in the face of mortality. That hesitation to pursue what you truly want, exposed as a cowardly waste of a precious life. Unshakable confidence flows from this understanding. When you live with the awareness of death, you stop waiting for the perfect moment. You speak your truth now. You take your shot today. You live with urgency and purpose. The opinions of others fade into insignificance. Your confidence comes from the knowledge that you are living a life that is truly your own, because you are acutely aware that it will not last forever. Rule 10. serve a cause greater than yourself. A Spartan's ultimate confidence did not come from personal glory. It came from his unwavering devotion to Sparta. His life, his death, was for the protection and glory of his homeland. This purpose was larger than his individual fears. This is the final and most important rule. You must find your Sparta. What is the cause you serve? Is it your family, providing them with a life of security and love? Is it your craft, pushing it to its highest expression? Is it your team, leading them to a worthy victory? Or is it the simple, profound, stoic cause of living a life of virtue, wisdom, justice, and courage? When your confidence is tied to a purpose greater than your own ego, it becomes indestructible. Your personal doubts and insecurities become small in the shadow of a mighty cause. You are no longer a fragile individual trying to look good. You are a servant of a mission. This reframes every setback as a mere obstacle on the path, not a personal indictment. It gives you a reason to be strong when you feel weak. It gives you a reason to persevere when you want to quit.
The conclusion. The Ephors charge. These 10 rules are your shield and your spear. They are not learned by listening, but by doing. You will not become unshakable by watching this video. You will become unshakable by guarding the gates of your mind tomorrow morning, by embracing the discomfort you would normally avoid, by speaking with weight and holding your ground. The world today is soft. It encourages comfort, distraction, and the avoidance of pain. It breeds anxiety and fragile egos. But you have chosen a different path, the path of the mental Spartan. This is your call to arms. Your Phalanx is the community of those who choose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, and virtue over vanity. The battle for your mind is won daily in 1,000 small choices. So go now, train your mind, conquer yourself, and become unshakable.